Hey there, peeps. Welcome to Pages of Ascension. My name is Tia. Welcome back if you've been joining me for a little while. This is going to be another unboxing video. This is going to be for the Everyday Witch Oracle by Deborah Blake, and the art is by Elisabeth Alba. Okay, so this is a really cool divination deck, actually, and I was actually really drawn to it because of the cover of the box. For those of you that have watched other unboxing videos of mine or just generally watch me as a reader, know that inclusivity is kind of a thing for me. I'm kind of a stickler about it, and perhaps that's my background, perhaps not, I don't know, but it just, at a certain point in life, you get kind of tired of not seeing yourself. Okay. And that is not the case in this deck. This deck is incredibly inclusive. It covers so much. I really, really like this deck. So this is a 40 card deck. It does come with a really nice guidebook. So there's the front and there's the back. And here's her book. It is bound actually in such a nice fashion that you could file this by itself without the box if you want. Given the state of the box, I have plans to store it in the box unless I am working with it every day, in which I'll set it on my desk with a crystal on top of it to keep it cleansed. But that's neither here nor there. So what I typically do with excuse me, what I typically do with my unboxing readings, for those of you who are new, I will go through and I'll show each one of the cards, and then I will shuffle on camera and I'll talk about the quality or the shuffleability, if you will, of the cards. And then the one that comes out is the one I will read out of this book in its entirety, just to give you an idea of how the book is formatted and what the author's intention was when they created the deck. Now, some people don't do that. I think it's really important. I'm not going to go into that now because it kind of leads into a tangent thing. But yeah, so there's that. So I have already gone through and done a couple of readings with this deck. So they are not in order. I'm just going to preface that by saying some of them are going to be in reverse. So I'll have to flip them as I'm showing them. But so there is that. But I am going to go through each card and show it to you so you can see. And here we go. Sometimes I talk, sometimes I don't. So don't let it get awkward. So the artwork in this deck is very cartoonish, I think is the right word, or animated. Like I don't want it to sound like it's lesser quality because of the artwork. I actually really appreciate the artwork. I love how everything is portrayed in this. It makes it much less intimidating than a lot of decks that include witch in their title. I'm just going to be straight up about that. I like the use of familiars, the use of elements and themes. This is very well done. I think the artwork is very attractive, but this feels a lot more hand drawn versus like digitally done, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. A lot of time was spent on these cards to make each and every one of them. There's so much in every single one of these cards. Like I can't even begin to fully express. This is just a deck you'll have to get and work with yourself in order to really be able to take it all in. Like, you see this cat in the background, you see it's got his paw, but the cat is actually planting a seed, so it's, anyways, we're not going to go into that because I'll go off on a tangent and I don't want this to be too long. So there's that one. Pure gold. I really like that there's so much gardening that happens in this because I am a gardener. I love gardening. It is one of my things I nerd out over. Um, so I love to see that. Yeah, that's beautiful. Excuse me. And here's the namesake card. Go with the flow. This is what's pictured on the front of the deck. Excuse me, on the box of the deck. Reminds me of my orchestra days, this one. All right, last one. Okay, so if I hadn't showed it already, here is the back of the cards, which is interesting because when I first opened them, I was like, okay, but it's grown on me. It's definitely grown on me. So let's go ahead and shuffle these. I will pull one card and then we'll go into the book. So the card stock on these is really nice. I think it'll take a really long time for these to wear down, even with regular use. They're quite flexible as well, so it's easy enough to shuffle them. However, if your hands are small, you're going to have a little bit of trouble gripping them without bending them in order to shuffle them in such manner. I like the side shuffle, so I'm not going to do that too much. So there's that. So let's see, what card do we have for the collective? Talk about this particular deck. Okay, that one's peeking out. We're just going to take that one. Otherwise, I feel like we could probably go for days. Okay, so like I said, the book here is bound. It goes to talk about other things that Deborah Blake has done at the very, very first page. So that's awesome if you like this particular creator and you want to know more about them. And then talk more about Deborah Blake and more about the artist Elisabeth Alba. And then this is by Llewellyn. That's where you can find this particular deck if you want to order direct through them. This is fairly new. Looks like the first printing, first edition was this year, 2019. That's when I'm doing this particular unboxing video. There's multiple chapters here. So chapter 1, it goes through how to use this deck. Chapter 2, how the cards are divided. Chapter 3, the cards progress, so progression and how they're connected to each other. What they call chapter 4, and these are only a couple pages long. It's not like a full-on book chapter, okay? But chapter 4 goes into different spreads that you can do, gives you a few samples, and then it goes on to talk about the cards themselves and gets into the explanation of those. So it looks like they're divided up by element. Okay. So earth, air, fire, water. And there is a deck out that's the Everyday Witch Tarot, which at some point I will actually grab that deck. They just didn't have it at the place that I was at when I saw this one. But when I do see that, I will be grabbing that deck as well and probably doing an unboxing video on that in addition to this one, okay? Just because I really like, I like the thought that was put into this deck. I really appreciate that as someone who uses, these cards as my tool. So yeah, earth, air, fire, water, how the cards are divided, how the cards progress. I can't really give you the quick and dirty on that because I have not actually read this section of the book. That is the intent to do so, however, especially before I begin actually using them on camera for anything. That's something that I do with every single deck. That's why you usually only see a certain set of decks that I will use. And again, that's my own preference, is just out of respect to the people who, put their energy into making these decks and to making these tools for all of us. I don't like to, it feels disrespectful for me. Not all readers feel that way, but for me, it feels disrespectful to do so. So it'll be a little while before I use these on camera. But in any case, slightly different information on the back of the book if you want to look into that. So the card we got is Give Love. I'm sensing a theme here. Did one other unboxing video today, and I'm pretty sure love came out in that one too. I hear you, Spirit. Okay, so one thing that's interesting about this particular deck, here we go, Give Love, is that they're not numbered. So some people might find issue with that if they want to go into the book. They're not numbered, but it's by suit. So the fact that this has got fire in it tells me that it's very likely in the fire suit. I want to actually double check on that. Yep. So it's in the fire suit of this particular deck. Okay. But that's just a warning for those of you who do rely on the book you're grabbing this deck more for, self-reflection and meditation for you and not necessarily for clientele or to do on YouTube or something like that. The cards are not numbered, but they are numbered in the book. So you might have to flip until you find it. Okay. So the one I'm reading about right now is Give Love. Sorry, let me turn back to it. All right. It is a wonderful thing to be loved. We all want to feel love in our lives. That feeling of warmth and comfort that comes from the knowledge that someone out there is sending love in our direction. But don't forget that love is a street that goes in two directions. As much as you need and want to be loved, others need and want it too. Love is remarkable. The more you give, the more you have to give. If you allow your heart to be filled with love for others, whether that love is romantic or familial, the affection between friends, the love you feel for a beloved animal companion, or even the love for God and Goddess, that sense of warmth and joy will overflow like a river. You can give love to those you don't even know. Send unconditional love out to the homeless man you pass on the street or woman who smiles at you in the store. You don't have to say or do anything necessarily. Just open your heart and send love out. Of course, if you are giving love to those you know, you can just say it out loud, write it on a card, or just express it with a hug or a kind word. Sometimes you will get love back. Sometimes you won't. But that doesn't mean that it isn't worth doing. So the divination within this card speaks to this. It says, this card is telling you to open your heart. Maybe someone has been offering you love, but you haven't taken the time and energy to make sure they know you love them too. It is easy to take friends and family or significant others for granted when your life is hectic, thinking, oh, they know I love them, or I'll do something special later when I have more time. Perhaps you have been a little self-involved, and the gods are gently suggesting that it is time to focus your energies outward instead of inward. It could be that there is someone close to you who is crying out for love, but you just haven't noticed. Look around you. Are you giving enough love to those who are important to you? Life is short, and we never know what lies right around the corner. Don't wait until tomorrow to give the love you feel today. So the magic section of this, and it's divided into 3 separate sections. So there's the general meaning of the card, what the divination intent is for the card, and what the magical intent is for the card, okay? So the magical intent for this card, if you wanted to complete your own ritual, it sounds like here, it says, sit quietly in a dim room or outside under the moon. Light a white or red candle and spend a moment concentrating on its light and warmth. Then close your eyes and feel that light and warmth in the area of your heart. Open yourself to the universal source of love, God and Goddess, or whatever you believe in, and fill your heart filling up with that feeling of warmth and affection. When it fills to the point of overflowing, send that love out into the world. You can direct it at specific people or simply will it to go wherever it is needed most. Spend as long as feels right doing this. Then put your hands over your heart and save a little for yourself. Thank the gods for sharing their energy and blow out the candle. So, if you've made it this far into the video, I would most certainly appreciate a like, especially if you really like these types of videos. Let me know and I will keep making them. I have my own reasons for doing these unboxing videos. And really, like, I go through this on my own, even if I don't show you. I haven't done an unboxing for every single deck that I have. That would be a lot of unboxing videos. But there are those that I run across that are very striking to me. And it feels like that they need to be shared, okay, and need to be gone through. So there's that. This is the Everyday Witch Oracle. It is by Deborah Blake, and the art is by Elisabeth Alba. Let me know down in the comments below. Do you have this deck? Do you already work with it? I definitely like to know your input. So yeah. So that's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe so you can catch up on all my videos, not just the unboxing ones. And I will see you next time.